Planning and Zoning. Would everyone please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, so the purpose of our meeting tonight is to review particular items that we have on the agenda. We will review them. We will make a decision on a recommendation that we will present to the City Council. City Council has the final say on your items moving forward. Tonight we have three items for new business, and so at this time I'll turn the meeting over to Mike.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is Lakeshore Motor Company, LLC. The property is located on Sussex Highway. Yeah, that's fine. Ken Christianberry's here. He's representing the project this evening. He's handed out some of the site plans we're going to look at. Tax map and parcel is 331-3.00-193.00, 193.12, and 193.13. This is for the final site plan review for the proposed 24,000 square foot automobile sales and service center. It's Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep. This is the existing site highlighted in red there. It's just right next door to the HERS facility out there on Sussex Highway, just north of town. This is the site plan we received. I don't think there's been any really major changes to it since we saw it last time. Still got all the parking out front for all the vehicles, stormwater on site, the showroom and service center there, it's in the back. Here's a rendering they sent of what the dealership may look like when it's completed. And just again, it's a 24,000 square foot new automobile sales and service center. The building's to be fully sprinklered. The parking requirement is 1 space per 200 square feet. Is 120 is required by the code. They're providing 267, so they're way over on the parking, which is good for this type of use. On-site stormwater management will be provided, and it requires the extension of water, sewer, and electric to the site from the city. And they do have most of their approvals already from the Fire Marshal, Conservation District, DelDOT, and the city engineer for the water and sewer extension. I think they're still waiting on some comments on that one. So if there's any questions I can help you, or like I said, Ken's here, he could answer them as well.
Sure, I'll start off with a couple questions. So you're going to utilize the whole lot from 13 to alternate 13, correct? Is that what we're seeing? Sure.
Yes, the project will have an entrance on each roadway, and then we will go, actually, there's 3 parcels that are being combined. One is behind the HERS, and the other 2 are front to back, and in that combination of the 3 parcels,
Okay.
we would be developing pretty much the entire area. We are still working through state agency reviews and approvals with DelDOT, the Fire Marshal, waiting to hear back from the city engineer.
Okay.
But we've made submittals to all those agencies with the fully engineered package. We just gave you all the summary pages from our set of plans.
All right. And so you're going to house everything in one building, right?
Yeah, there's no accessory buildings proposed.
Okay. Are these hatch lines back here on the entrance off of alternate 13? Is that like for proposed gate, or is that just?
No, that's just the property line.
That is, okay.
Yeah, there is a deceleration lane that's going to be required by DelDOT on the back and similarly on the front. And we're expanding and putting some concrete medians in the 13 entryway and in the median.
So it'll be an exit out south only, right?
Yes, we'll have full access for entry, so northbound and southbound will be able to come in. But when you leave, if you want to head north, you're probably going to want to sneak out the back.
Okay, I got you. How far down is that turnaround, Mike? Where's the next turnaround? If someone goes out the front and goes south?
Hobby stop.
Hobby stop. car wash.
Yes.
All right. Does anyone else have questions from the commission? Yes, sir.
Is this the only fire hydrant that's located, is that here on the highway? That stretch all the way up there? I understand it's a.
Here's the set of the,
Thing, so I'm not familiar with having this in my firehouse.
here's the set of the water plant installation. If I just gave them parts of the
So,
set.
I just want to make sure.
You can see on this one, I believe,
This one
we
here.
have a hydrant there at the corner, and then a hydrant by the building. I figured the sign needs to be right there. You're welcome to keep this up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's been submitted to the farm.
Yes, for some reason I haven't seen this plan in the firehouse.
I'd be happy to get it to you.
No, you gave it to me now, I got it.
Very good.
All right, thank you, Chief. Any other questions from the commission? Okay, there being none, I don't think we have any public present, but we'll move forward, Mike.
Thank you. Second item on the agenda is for PTV 1125 LLC, located at 23643 Sussex Highway, tax map and parcel number 331-5.00-63.00, zoning is C2 Highway Commercial. It's a sketch site plan review for proposed 4,070 square foot 7-Eleven convenience store with fuel canopies, gas pumps, car wash, and associated parking. And Jonathan Falkowski is here representing the project tonight if there's any questions further on down. So we have seen this project in the last year. It was a different developer and a different engineer. It's the same site, it's the Dover Pool site there on the highway next to Taco Bell. So this is the existing site as it is now. The red roof there is the Dover Pool's retail store, and they have that large warehouse on the north side of it. And they're proposing to fully demolish the site for this new project. So here's the site plan. It's kind of hard to see. The next one should make it a little more clearer. This is the one we received. The only difference between this site plan and the one we saw last year is the car wash. Everything else is basically the same. Yeah, I got the full color up on the screen now too, so you can kind of see the green space there, the parking and building and the stormwater on the site. And they also supplied us with a rendering of the front of the building there, what the front will look like. It's very attractive with the block and masonry. So it's a 4,070 square foot convenience store with fuel canopies, 33 paved parking spaces provided, 21 are required by the code. They're providing on-site stormwater management, and it will require approvals from the State Fire Marshal, DelDOT, and Sussex Conservation District for that stormwater system. So if there's any questions, I could help you or Jonathan.
Okay. First question for you, Mike.
Yes.
So we're going to tie into this this access road. You know, that's always the first thing we ask about. So is that a joint effort between the city and these folks to get that thing going, or where we stand with that?
I believe they'd have to approach that developer in the back. It's on their private property, and DelDOT, I think, would have some play in that, because it is going to be a DelDOT road. I think they're in negotiations with some of that. And they are having an easement through the Taco Bell site for now. I don't know when they're going to do that road in the back. Jonathan may be able to answer that better than me.
I can touch on the easements.
One question before we get to that. Still with that access road, can this plan move forward? I mean, he's showing an entrance and an exit using that access road. Can this project move forward if that road is not in place yet?
I believe so, because they'll have the access through the Taco Bell site with a cross-access easement. But then Jonathan, he
I can touch on that.
Okay, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, you can go up there, that's fine.
I also have a letter, Mr. Phil Owen from Pentex Ventures wasn't able to make it, couldn't get lodging here, and they're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I sent you a digital letter, but there's just a letter from the developer. Just apologize he couldn't be here.
Thank you. Thank you.
can bring a small set of plans
Thank
for
you.
you. So, a couple things that are happening on this. The access road, I believe, is a phase of an apartment complex. It's actually platted as an access road to access the apartments back there. It's not proposed as part of this project. There are several access points. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if that was built. There was a TIS performed that's in its final stages. We have a final draft letter from DelDOT with recommendations for those access points. Really no off-site improvements, but they did have several recommendations for the access points that are reflected in this plan. One was sharing the right in, right out with Taco Bell, and our Pentex has acquired that easement. It's actually been finalized, I think, just today. That easement there for the Route 13, and then DelDOT had requested one that ran along the Taco Bell property and connected into the part of Preservation Drive that is built. So that easement will be in place, and you'll have that access all the way through the site without the rear one. We did add the rear one just in case that access road is ever built. We could stub at our property line, and then they would build to us. But we weren't planning to build out that entire access road.
I have a question I don't understand. So does this deal right here, is that where that hits that road behind Taco Bell? And is that pizza? Or is that Starbucks?
Yeah, there's a Starbucks, Taco Bell here, and so there's already an existing easement that runs east-west. But DelDOT had requested that we acquire, or try to acquire, an easement that runs all the way back and around.
Okay.
And they just got that.
Okay.
And then there's a right in, there's an existing access here that's a bit bad condition. We will rebuild that access to meet DelDOT standards. And they have requested that we just stripe our right turn lane in from there to there. And that was about it for road improvements. The sidewalk connection, sidewalk along the frontage, of course. And it's not shown on here, but I think we plan to add a connection from the frontage sidewalk into the site. It's not shown on here, but I'll note that we'll add that. Stormwater management in the rear, it's shown blue, but it's not going to be a wet pond or anything like that. Back to the mic, it's probably hard to hear me with the mask on. But the stormwater area in the back there is most likely going to be a dry infiltration basin. We got good rates, and groundwater is pretty low.
So I feel like you got a pretty good sized store here, in relationship to other types of stores in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't feel like you need that rear access necessarily. You're just giving that as an option at a further point. I mean, that's
Right.
I mean, it gets crazy out there on the highway. That's why I'm asking these questions.
Right, we have several access points on the highway, but we figured build it, and if that developer can move forward with that project and build Preservation Drive extended, then we can easily connect to it.
Okay.
We'll just provide one more access point.
Okay. All right, that satisfies my question.
How many fuel stations do you have?
This one has diesel and unleaded, so there's eight unleaded. I think there's 8 of each.
And that will
dual side.
facilitate the large trucks?
Yes, so not shown on this plan, but we have run our turning software that we have for fueling trucks for both customers of the diesel, the large WB 67s. We've run that to come in that Taco Bell entrance and come back out to the highway. So the larger trucks for the diesel, and then delivery trucks for the unleaded is a smaller truck. But we've ran both scenarios to make sure those entrances are sufficient and internal circulation.
So that, I thought of another question when he brought up the diesel
Yep.
tanks. So like in our neighboring town, Bridgeville, one of your competitors, they offer like some parking for, over the road
Like an
trucks and
overnight?
stuff like that. You're
Yeah.
not offering anything. You're not creating space for any of that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just an in and out.
just in and out, yep.
All right, any other questions from you guys? Chief, you go with everything here?
Then there were some elevations, you saw one. I have some others of the car wash, it looks very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Now some of the cheap greenhouse looking car washes you see, so very similar in look and feel. Everything's just nice stone. And back, the diesel and unleaded fuel canopies will be, stone and brown with the 7-Eleven, not shown on here, but it'll be the 7-Eleven signage.
Right.
You can submit that signage.
Is that sort of the new concept for you guys? Because I
Yes,
feel
this
like I
is,
haven't seen one that looks like this yet.
Yeah, this is kind of rebranding, if you will.
Uh-huh.
More of the Royal Farms, Wawa, Super Centers. I mean, these aren't typical 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
We're doing several of them throughout the state. We got one approved in Bridgeville.
Okay.
Right there. And it's a nice looking model. They're definitely stepping up their architecture and their business plan.
Okay. All right, thank you. So, I don't know, sir, I maybe overlooked you last time when I said there wasn't any public, but,
No, I'm with Dover Pools, actually.
you are, okay,
Yes.
okay, I'm sorry.
No, this is,
So, move forward. All right, so we don't have any public, so
Okay.
we'll keep moving then.
All right, move on to item number 3, is Delaware Property Venture LLC. Property is located on Park Avenue in the industrial park. Tax map and parcel is 531-10.00-236.10. The zoning is M1 Light Industrial. They're requesting a final plan review for proposed 5 warehouse development with parking and site improvements. Mark Strickland is here representing the project this evening, if there's any questions later on. So I think this is the second or third time we've looked at this one. This is the final. This existing site there, it's right at the end of Industrial Boulevard there on Park Avenue. It's a very large site there, but they're proposing 5 flexible warehouse spaces on it. Here's the plan. They've got 2 warehouses on the north and south ends and 1 right in the middle with on-site stormwater on-site as well. And in the middle of the 2 warehouses on the north and south property lines there's covered loading dock for the complex to share for unloading and loading trucks. It's a little bigger view there. So they're proposing 4 9,960 square foot warehouses and 1 8,100 square foot warehouse, 2 loading docks, and the parking requirement is 1 space per 1,000 square feet, and that is required to be 48. They have 55 on the site provided. They're doing on-site stormwater management, and they have received their approvals from the State Fire Marshal, Sussex Conservation, and the city's engineer for the stormwater. If there's any questions for me or Mark?
Okay, I don't have any questions on this one. Does anyone else have any questions?
Satisfied all those?
I'd just like to say I appreciate the conversation between the engineering group and the fire chief of adding the extra fire hydrant into that location. It was kind of tense there for a little bit, but they did agree to put another fire hydrant in the back. So
Okay. All right. We'll make that noted for the council.
they did a very nice job.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Mike.
All right.
So at this time, I'm going to close the public portion of the meeting, and then we're going to open the regular meeting back up.
So we're going to findings of facts for the item number 1. It was Lakeshore Motor Company LLC, located on Sussex Highway. That's tax map and parcel 331-3.00-193.00, 193.12, and 193.13. The zoning is C2 Highway Commercial. It's a proposed development of a 24,000 square foot new automobile sales and service center. They're providing 267 parking spaces, and 120 are required number by code. They're providing on-site stormwater management and requires the extension of city utilities, water, sewer, and electric. And the required approvals are State Fire Marshal, Sussex Conservation, DelDOT, and the city engineer. Planning and zoning is to make a recommendation to council this evening.
Okay, at this time I'll entertain a motion.
I recommend approval of the preliminary site plan review for Lakeshore Motor Company as presented in tonight's finding of fact.
I second it.
Okay, Shannon.
Mr. Grassett,
I approve based on finding of facts.
Mr. Temple,
I approve based on findings of fact.
Mr. Peterson,
I approve based on findings of fact.
Mr. Schaefer,
I approve based on finding of facts.
Ms. Spicer,
I approve based upon the finding of fact.
and Mr. Pinkapall.
I approve based on findings and facts.
Okay, we'll send a favorable recommendation to council for your project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to the findings of facts for item number 2. The project is a 7-11 preliminary, or sketch site plan review, sorry about that. The owners are PTV 1125 LLC. The property location is 23463 Sussex Highway. Tax map and parcel is 331-5.00-63.00. Zoning is C2 Highway Commercial. They're providing 33 parking spaces, and it's a 4,070 square foot convenience store with fuel islands and car wash. They're providing on-site stormwater management, and it requires the approval of Sussex Conservation, State Fire Marshal, and DelDOT. And planning and zoning is to make a recommendation to council.
All right, I'll entertain a motion on number 2, please.
I recommend approval of the sketch site plan review of the 7-11 project as presented in tonight's findings of fact.
I'll second.
Okay, Shannon.
Mr. Grassett,
I approve based on finding of facts.
Mr. Temple,
I approve based on findings of fact.
Mr. Peterson,
I approve based on findings of fact.
Mr. Schaefer,
I approve based on finding of fact.
Ms. Spicer,
I approve based upon the finding of fact.
and Mr. Pinkapall.
I approve based on finding of facts.
Okay, we'll also send a favorable recommendation to council for your project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so findings of facts for item number 3. The project is Delaware Property Venture LLC warehouses. The owners are Delaware Property Venture LLC. Property is located on Park Avenue, and that's tax map and parcel 531-10.00-236.10. Zoning is M1 Light Industrial, and it's proposed development of 4 9,960 square foot warehouses and 1 8,100 square foot warehouse, 2 loading docks, and they're providing 55 parking spaces. 48 is required by code. On-site stormwater is provided, and they have approvals from State Fire Marshal, Sussex Conservation, and the city engineer for stormwater. Planning and zoning to make a recommendation to council.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for item number 3, please.
I recommend approval of the final plan review of the 5 warehouse building project as presented in tonight's findings of fact.
I second that.
You pick one. Shannon.
Mr. Grassett,
I approve based on finding of facts.
Mr. Temple,
I approve based on findings of fact.
Mr. Peterson,
I approve based on findings of fact.
Mr. Schaefer,
I approve based on finding of facts.
Ms. Spicer,
I approve based upon the finding of
and
facts.
Mr. Pinkapall.
I approve based on findings and facts.
Okay, we'll also send a favorable recommendation for your warehouse project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This time I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Meeting adjourned.